introduce my workflow for GitHub, kind of how it gets set up and how I'm working with it. I am not I don't understand GitHub very much, like many people don't, and I understand it is very kind of developed over the years, kind of starting off as a command line thing. Nowadays, you can still use commands in the terminal, which is very useful feature that Visual Studio Code actually uses directly in, so that kind of is the most simple way to do it. Obviously, you can use, terminal, and that would be also a good way to kind of get to know GitHub, and I will definitely do that in the future, but for now, I'm just going to kind of go through the way I use GitHub. Right now I'm logged in. Obviously, doesn't take a lot to sign in or make a new account in GitHub. It literally is just kind of like a Google account where you just kind of start it and you see all of your repositories. Right now, my computer is being slow. Right now, my repositories, there they are. Yeah, so these are my repositories. They're kind of all over the place, but not for long. Think of this button, think of GitHub as kind of Google Drive, more kind of robust. This is essentially make a new folder, but they call it a repository. So in a sense, it's more like a drive in Google Drive, but let's think of it as a folder for now, okay? You make a new repository, you keep all your code in there. Most of my code is JavaScript, as you can see, and it's really nice. It's a really nice tool to see what you have. Obviously, I'm not going to go in depth with the explanations because I'm going to butcher it. But I will show in this video how to use GitHub with Visual Studio Code. This is definitely my workflow. Everything I kind of do on Visual Studio Code, there's like a folder I have on my computer with all my code, and the more I build on what I already have and the more assignments that I do for my schoolwork in college, this has definitely been a tool to use. And we'll do this. And so we're in an untitled folder in my documents folder. This is very much tutorial stuff. So basically, let's just add some files. New text file.txt, hello world. Very bare bones stuff. We can do some more stuff. Let's do something like an HTML, right? Hopefully, yeah, that'll just give us like a stub file right there. There we go. This is honestly, let's just use this for now because I'm not going to use this right now. We can use this. This will definitely be a very small, like a blank web page. Once we post this, you can actually go off of this tutorial and easily use GitHub Pages to kind of publish a website. And that's a very good option. I am a very big fan of that free and definitely code-based, sourcing for your projects for web design and stuff. But like I said, I am not an expert in this, and I'm just starting off. So using GitHub, this is basically the source control tab on the left side. And when I started using like coding and stuff, when I started coding using this application, these buttons were very taboo. I didn't know what they were. This is a new one. This is kind of more for accessing or shell terminal for all of my assignments back in the day in my college. Nowadays I switched stuff, but okay, so basically when you get to this page, what's important, if you press Command J, you'll get terminal. You get your output, your terminal. It's a very useful panel, and you toggle it by pressing Command J, okay? So you know that this is this folder. This is obviously my username for my computer, but Untitled folder is the folder that we are currently in, right? So we're in this folder, and what you can do is press that button. This basically makes a new folder in GitHub, okay? I don't know exactly how to explain this very much, but it's essentially the same thing as pressing this button. I can be wrong about this, and if there's anybody intelligent and knows better, can happily leave me a comment, constructive criticism in the comments, and tell me this whole entire video is wrong. But as far as I know, that's basically what that button does. It's also the equivalent of, as long as you have Git installed on your computer. I believe I did that a while back. I don't remember when. But I think if you press Git, as long you'll know that Git is installed on your computer if you just type Git and into the terminal. It's not command line since this is Unix. Just press Git into the terminal input, and you'll get all of this. These are common Git commands. We'll kind of be focusing on clone, init, and commit. Basically, it's very self-explanatory. When you read this, this is kind of the bare bones. Let's begin using Git on our computers. Yeah, just some commands that you can add. So basically, the button that I pressed just now, kind of a roundabout way explaining it, is pressing Git init. And so I believe that just kind of creates a new repository, or kind of wipes the existing repository clean if it has the same name. That is technical stuff I don't know yet. So anybody who knows more can explain it to me someday. But obviously, what Git has been telling us, what init means, says create an empty Git repository or reinitialize an existing one, like I just said. So this U stands for an unstaged change, or untracked change. I don't think it means, I think it's unstaged as well. Usually it means unstaged. Basically, we're going to be creating a new file and kind of uploading it to the Git. Yeah, somebody clocked me on my vocabulary. This is all new. This is also all new. It's one line basically, but where there wasn't anything, there was a non-existent file. This is now in its place. What I like to do is just go up here, put a commit message in there. Very basic and simple to identify what your history was. This is basically my first commit. You can kind of change it up with your style. It really doesn't matter, but as long as you can identify it later is kind of a good thing to have. I'm just going to do it fast. I'm going to go basically command enter, and it'll be the same thing as pressing that. And it will tell me, it sounds like it didn't tell me anything. It sounds like it's all good. So, yeah. That's because I already did so. When you press Command Enter to commit, it will tell you there's nothing staged. So it has to be under this folder, changes, and then it has to be staged changes, you know? Then there's unstaged changes that will appear under this tab. Basically, what I like to do is just kind of say, okay, stage and commit, you know? You'll have a pop-up window that'll appear right here, and it's a simple process. So this is as far as I've gotten. So those who have this video, I've sent the link. I know basically nothing about GitHub and the way it works. What I believe happens is it makes a new repository, and now I have that available on my repositories. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but that's as far as I know. Hopefully this is exactly what it says it does. If not, somebody has to explain to me exactly what more is necessary for this to be on an online location, GitHub specifically, in a new repository, kind of always refreshing and kind of syncing up with what I have on my computer. That way, the design, from what I can tell from GitHub, is that you can collaborate with different people about this, or about with your projects, and you can kind of have separate people working on different files, and you pass the conch essentially for those specific files, and everybody can work on something and collaborate on a single project. And that is something that I am excited for, and I'm also excited to have a single location for all of my files that I can share with people and employers someday. Let me know what I've got wrong, what I have done right. I hope this video helps in some way to people who don't know as much as this far. Definitely definitely there are lots and lots of videos, and it'll take you a few hours to kind of dive into this rabbit hole. But hopefully this was a sort of quick and very straightforward tutorial for all of you. So thank you. I'm gonna press the stop button and yeah, subscribe, whatever you want to do.